I'm Dan Fichter, Want to Get Fast Power Speed Training. Today we're going to talk a little bit about altitude drops and a safe progression that you can teach your athletes and make it more effective for you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with stance, and what we try to coach is a stance that is underneath your armpit with your feet. Your feet are going to be directly straight ahead, so you can stand right here facing that way. Okay? Feet are going to be right underneath your armpits, maybe a little bit wider than that, depending on the width of the hips. Okay? The first thing we're going to have the athlete do is get into the position that we want them to land in. Okay? And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our butt backwards a little bit. We're not going to try to tip forward too much with our upper trunk. We're going to just kind of tip our butt backwards and keep our chest up. Okay? And as he begins to go down, he's going to push his butt back, trying to keep his torso as upright as he can get it. Okay? And it's going to come forward just a little bit. As he goes down a little bit more, he's going to push his butt out the back door, we call it. He's going to get his butt back. Okay, he's going to get down a little bit lower. And what we're looking for is a little flexibility or rocker ability in his ankles so he can get into that perfect position. Okay? Now, as he goes down, you can stand up and relax a little bit. As he goes down, you're going to see different athletes with varying different degrees of flexibility in their ankles to get into position where they're not landing out here like this, or they're not sitting straight up and down pushing their knees forward. So you do want to have some mobility in your ankle rocker, okay, to be able to get down in an upright position and work your butt backwards. Okay? Come on over here and show me that position one more time. And get into it real slow. We're going to start by initiating movement with our hip going backwards and immediately rotating up with our chest. And he's going to start to sit down. As he sits down, he's going to push his butt backwards. Push his butt backwards and begin to go down a little bit more. So he's going to reach back for my hand back here with his butt. He's going to keep reaching and reaching and reaching and reaching until I feel we got a good, strong contraction here, okay, and the chest is up. That's actually a pretty good position right there, okay? So we're going to work as we go along on his mobility for him to get down lower and lower to absorb energy. But for now, this is where we're going to start. And the more he can absorb at each level, the lower we can start to catch it to work on different musculature. Okay, so that's the first part of what we do, is teaching the athlete the correct position to land into before we even get onto a box. Second thing you want to do, test your athlete's vertical jump. If it's 20 inches, you know that they can start from a 20-inch box because they can absorb the energy that they can create when they jump. Okay, you're never going to absorb energy from a 50-inch box if you can't have a vertical jump of 50 inches. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to your neuromuscular system. So we're going to start up on this box for now. He's going to hop up on here. And a couple things we talk to the athletes about when they land. We want to stop and we want to land solid. We want to land with most of the pressure on the front half of our foot. Okay? When he's in contact with the ground, his heel will look like it's on the ground, but he'll be able to move it freely if we ask him to. So when he does land, if you take a look at my foot, we'll get some ankle rocker going forward, and most of the weight is from here forward, and I'd be able to move my heel if I had to. Okay, but it is on the ground. Okay? When he lands, he's going to stop solid, and I'm going to watch that his hips don't sink when he lands, but we're also going to coach him to step off and land soft. So it's a solid landing, but we're going to coach him to land like he was jumping on his bathroom scale, and we didn't want the numbers to move. Okay? He wants to land like a cat, but he wants to land like a gymnast with no movement. Okay, now, you'll notice a couple things, what he did with his hands. And we were talking earlier before we got on camera that when you land, you want to think about initiating some type of movement, whether it would be a lateral direction, an explosive step forward, or for a lot of purposes, a vertical jump, where I'd be bringing my hands back behind me. So now not only am I working on absorbing energy, I'm working on the timing of my upper body with a vertical jump. So, again, we're going to try to go a little bit more upright with our torso as we absorb the energy. And he's going to step off nice and relaxed, and he's going to slam on the brakes. Good. Now, energy should be going through the feet, okay, into the calf musculature, in through the hamstrings, into the butt, and energy will take you backwards upon landing, not forward. You shouldn't be landing like this and stepping forward. We want to actually be landing, stop solid, and then it moves back through your heels. Okay, I want you to work on that this time. Okay, good. Now, what I'm going to ask him to do a little bit is to hold his position upon landing, so we can make sure that all the force is done being absorbed through the body. We don't want to be, and then go. We want to be here, hold this position, show me balance, show me stability, okay, and then the exercise is over. 1/1000. Good. Okay? That's not bad. See how the energy began to take him backwards. So again, we can start with hands above our head if we want, and work it into a vertical jump position. Okay? Or we can land, let's try that with our hands above our head. And keep talking to your athletes about, if I asked you to cut loose and jump from this position, they'd be able to generate energy to go up. And when we're talking about a vertical jump, very rarely does somebody go down this low to vertical jump. So we're working on the transitional strength of being able to quickly load here, reach for our holsters, and then extend the hips. Okay, so that's where we're trying to absorb energy for this particular purpose of the vertical jump. Thank you.